What's going on, everyone? Alex here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Switchpod ball head and why I think it's super important for the Switchpod. I mean, as I'm looking at myself, my head's cut off because I can't tilt it up and down, can't look, so I gotta squat like this. So we're gonna go over the pros of the Switchpod and the ball head and some of the cons. So let's go. One thing that I love about the Switchpod is its size. The fact that it is super thin, it's lightweight, fits in my bag, no problem, doesn't take up a lot of space. It's not like the GorillaPod. The GorillaPod is just really bulky, uncomfortable to use, and as many people who have personally owned a GorillaPod can attest to this, it just slowly loses its structure over time. Whereas the Switchpod, it's built out of metal, and it's rigid, it's thin, it's comfortable to hold. Another reason I love the ball head is the fact that it is small, it's lightweight, you don't need a tool or a base plate to attach it. You just screw it on and you're good to go. To me, that saves time, and that's a pro. With the ball head, it's gonna make things easier like vlogging, which I've mentioned in the past videos that I've kind of wanted to get into vlogging, so if you're enjoying this content, leave a comment below. Wow, there's a lot of noise. I knew coming downtown was probably a bad idea with all the noise, so let's go ahead and finish up this review back at the studio. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. I had a feeling downtown would be noisy, but as I was talking about with the Switchpod, I was really intrigued when it was first announced because the GorillaPod is just so beefy and uncomfortable to hold, whereas when I saw the Switchpod, I mean, you can comfortably hold it in one hand right here. It has these rivets right here that just kind of comfortably fit into your hand. So that was really important to me. I was really impressed with how thin the profile was, but I was even more impressed with how quickly you can go from this setup to the tabletop setup. The only problem with going to tabletop on the Switchpod was that right there. You couldn't change it, focuses. You couldn't change it. You couldn't tilt it up or down. You couldn't do anything crazy because there was no ball head. And with that, I had to unfortunately use my Joby ball head, which, hold on a second. Okay, right here. I had to use my Joby ball head to put on top of the Switchpod, which is fine. I mean, it's a great ball head, nothing wrong with it. The only thing that bothered me was I had to keep this Swiss plate on my camera at all times in case the moment came up where I wanted to try vlogging or I wanted to use the tabletop tripod option, and I hated that. I hated having a plate on my camera at all times. The Switchpod didn't get used a lot, as much as I was hoping. Then Switchpod decided to release this, the Switchpod ball head, and I love it. The reason I love it, the number one reason I love it, no tools necessary. You don't need any plates, nothing. You just screw it in like this, and then you're good to go. It's very streamlined, it matches with the Switchpod itself, it's not too big, not too bulky, material feels great, and it's just really easy to use. And that kind of creativity is what content creators need. They need someone that is creating these pieces of equipment with content creators in mind. And that is exactly why I wanted to get the Switchpod. It was created by content creators for content creators in mind. And to me, that is worth every penny. Well, that wraps up this little review video on the Switchpod and the ball head. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, shoot to create.